And they actually started the program, the Dodge Avenger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ronin Brothers Performance. Today we're going to talk about the Dodge Anger.
The mighty Dodge Anger, and the time we went to the 24 Hours Lemons and dominated all.
Yes.
Entered Class C, and I think we won Class A. No, we didn't do that part.
We definitely did not win
that definitely
class.
didn't happen.
No.
So we found the Avenger about 2.5 months ago, maybe about 3 months ago, close to that. And Brendan's going to go over how that happened.
All right, so I was sitting at home with my loving wife.
Minding your own business.
Minding my own business. Me and the dag, watching TV, relaxing and enjoying life. And I get a phone call, and it's basically like, I don't care what you're doing, get outside, the truck's pulling up, get in the truck, don't ask any questions. So I go grab my 9mm, a shovel, a bag of lye, like, you know, SOP for friends, you know, no idea what's getting ready to come, but figure we're gonna need to do something about it. Jump in the car, and we take off. Now Robert and Aaron, sitting in the truck, aren't saying anything about what we're doing. All I know is we're driving down the road until we get to, I think it was Lowe's.
Yeah.
And then John shows up, right? John originally was supposed to be racing with us. Something happened in life. Daughter decided to get married, had some stuff come on up. Couldn't get
Kind of important.
Couldn't get a chance, but obviously with us the entire way through the build. But anyway, John gets in the truck, and we're all clueless. Like, what's going on? And Robert looks, and he says, we're doing 24 Hours of Lemons. I've already paid the entry. We're on our way to go find a car. Cool. Like, all of us at one point or another have talked about doing lemons. Like, this is going to be a blast. Awesome. Oh,
First time I met him, that's what he said he wanted to do.
yeah, the very first time, I think.
Get a Civic, go to Road Atlanta, we're going to do lemons.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, you know, we're going to have a year or 6 months, something that, you know, we got time. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then he told us that we're going to be racing in December at Road Atlanta. And we basically have 3 months to find a car, build a car, get it ready, and then go race.
I told you I'd found the car.
Yeah, fortunately, we found the car.
Oh, no. He says he found a car. For most people, if you say, yeah, I got a car, I've checked it out, it looks good, it's a chassis we can modify, there's aftermarket supports, right? None of this took place. When he said he found a car, he means somebody responded on Facebook Marketplace and said, yes, it's still available. And he went, found it, we're good.
And they were willing to take the money that we wanted to offer them.
And that's how we found a car. So I researched 25 Lemons, what no one else seemed to do. And if you've ever entered those races or seen their videos, there's a lot of similar cars out there. You'll have a lot of BMWs, you have some Miatas, you have some Hondas, but people did not notice that nothing in the rules says you couldn't use a Dodge Avenger.
And in
Worldwide known for its performance.
And in fact, this was to be the first Dodge Avenger ever at Lemons.
That's right. And I'd say it did pretty good for never being raced.
Nope. She did good.
So we show up. Nice guy, awesome guy. He was really into Volvos, if I remember. Getting out there, he's got a bunch of Volvos. And here is just the worst car. Like, the bumper is falling off. It's packed in with trash. Windows are taped up. Tape didn't hold. Water is inside of it. Looked like somebody had been probably living in it. It
had been outside for 4 years, I think.
Yeah, it had been parked, non-running, for a significant amount of time.
Because it was overheating.
Because it had overheating issues. And
Insert
keep in mind,
original picture.
you would expect, so years, and it's a 2013. It's probably low miles. That's why you guys picked it. No. 167,000 miles on an automatic transmission, 2.4 liter.
Yeah, it's not a V6, 4-cylinder.
There's worse cars, like 3. And that's it. This is not just a, hey, here's an E36 chassis. Okay, that's easy. We can build that. We can race. We can be successful. It's not a Miata. It's NB or something. No. It's this.
But as we're to learn later,
basically a Hellcat.
I mean, it says so on the calipers.
Yeah, it definitely says so on the calipers thanks to Sharpies. But so that's the car, right? We're there. We're going to race. It's going to be fun. We're looking at a car, and so does it even start? So he goes and he grabs a jump box or something.
Started.
And it did start.
We drove it onto the trailer.
We got it onto the trailer. The farthest it had been driven and the fastest it had been driven for at least 4 years prior to us buying it. We got it on the trailer, and then we brought it back to the shop. We get it to the shop. It's not coming in our bay looking the way it looked. So we grabbed a pressure washer, and while it was still on the trailer, started pressure washing just the mildew, the grime, the
paint.
Oh yeah, half the paint came off on that pressure washer. Just trying to get it clean enough that we could touch it without having to go get shots and medical attention. And then we started stripping it out and seeing, what sort of things we were dealing with. Obviously, as you can tell, well, it's actually hard to tell now with the paint job we did, but significant body damage. Both bumpers were legitimately held on with wood screws. Pretty good dents into it. Mm-hmm. Very, very rough. We did absolutely find illegal substances hidden in portions of the car, which is how she got her new nickname,
Crystal.
But there we are. We're stripping it, we're gutting it, and we're getting ready to just kind of look at the bones of the car. And that took us about, I think, 2 days, really, honestly, to gut it out the way we needed it gutted.
When we stripped her down from curb weight to what she got down to, we lost about 600 pounds.
We lost more than that because the weight it is now is with cage, safety equipment, and everything else. We definitely
that's
took
racing weight.
That cage ain't light.
I mean, the first trip to the dump was 380 pounds. Then we had the seats. We had a whole bunch of stuff that ended up coming out.
Yeah.
And then we started to extensively modify the car. Normally, this car showed, 170?
Yeah, it's rated at
150
173 at the
crank. And Aaron and Brendan were able to extensively modify the engine.
So we started with maintenance.
Go ahead with
Yeah,
maintenance.
let's just do maintenance.
So we knew we had a problem with it overheating. As we put water in it, it started pouring out of everything. So, that's why you have an overheating problem. So all the O-rings on the thermostat housing were no good. It had a stuck thermostat. The water pump was leaking. Valve cover was leaking. Oil,
pan.
of course. It was leaking trans fluid. Basically, if it could leak, it was leaking. Mm-hmm. So we went through, did all of that. Got that all set up. In the process, figured out that this wasn't a Dodge motor. This was a Mitsubishi motor, joint, what they call the World Engine. So Hyundai, Dodge, and Mitsubishi. It is a 4B12, which is a relative of the 4B11 found in like the Evo 10. So things started looking up. It's like, I kind of know that motor. So that gave us a direction to go.
It's not an Evo, but it's the Evo's nasty cousin.
Yeah.
Alabama cousin.
Alabama cousin.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say what I said in the first take of this. So anyway, go Vols. We got that all done. Started looking at, what can we do? We have a $500 cap according to the rules, which we weren't sure how strict they were on that, but that was how we were going to build the car to start with. So it was at that point kind of come up with a plan. Once we had the basic stuff done, we drove it once. We didn't have a title, so we didn't drive it too far.
We drove it around the parking lot.
No.
Once.
So we went up to the
Me
gas
and Aaron drove it up to the gas
No,
station.
you didn't. In Mexico, you did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wouldn't drive in Tennessee.
Yeah, when we were driving in Mexico.
Yeah.
So no front bumper. At that point, I don't think we had an exhaust on it.
Not much of one.
Not much of one, at least. So as we were going through, we realized we needed to get some decent gas into it so we could figure out really just what's going to break when we go to the track. And, so you start with a blank canvas. We strip everything off the car that can possibly come out of it. We left the factory front seat so we had something to sit on. And I think at that point we had left the dash No, we had taken the dash off, but
Yeah, we
we
just had the
zip
cluster
tied the
zip tied.
gauge cluster up to the crash bar. But we're kind of going through it on that. And then we sat down and we just kind of, okay, these are the things that we can do, the things we can't. Now, things that you can do that $500 doesn't impact. Safety. Anything safety related does not play. So your brakes, your wheels, your tires.
Exhaust.
Exhaust. Now, they are very specific. It has to be after the manifold, exhaust manifold. And turbos, which can be construed as after the manifold, do not count, right? That does go towards your $500 performance. There is no turbo on this car yet. But for the race, there absolutely wasn't. And so we're like, all right, well, what's the stuff we can do on a budget? Well, most of that's going to be fabrication. One of the very first things that we needed to do is just kind of prep it and give a blank slate for the roll cage. So non-performance related, but we needed to get the wiring out of the way. Oh, you know what? We haven't even really talked about that. We found some very interesting things with the 65 miles of wiring we took out of this and the way it communicates to the CAN system. I'm not going to put it on this video because it's technical and boring, but if you are prepping one of these and you instantly find out that your car no longer starts, it's CAN communication, because every mode or module within this utilizes CAN in order to talk to the ECU. Our way around it was basically creating a new CAN signal, and as soon as we created that circuit, we're back in the races.
Yeah, the car started again after like 10 days. So that was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. For a while there, it was a little bit sketchy.
Because we were running two businesses at the same time. So the car shop and the
building business.
The building business.
Yeah.
And having to push this in and out to work on stuff was kind of inconvenient, but we got through that finally.
Yeah. So car was stripped. It was not the way you see it now. It was ugly. It was sitting 6 inches taller. It was barely running, but it was not leaking anything on the ground finally.
And it wasn't overheating.
And, well, it didn't run
That
long
we could
enough
tell.
to find out. We could have done it with no water, and we still wouldn't have known it had that. But, so we reached out to a local fabricator out here for the cage. Now, the requirements for 24 Hours of Lemons is if it's over 3,000 pounds, you need a 1 3/4 and a 120 wall cage built. And they are very, very specific. We had a couple different options that we could do. We could retool the shop, which was an investment we didn't want to make at that point, and one I still don't want to make, actually, after we found Tyler. Or we could find an online place to give us something. There is companies out there that will literally send you pre-bent, and you just weld it in. Pretty easy to do. Our problem is that this isn't a common chassis. It's not an E36. It's not a Miata. It's not a Civic.
There is no bolt-in cage.
Right. Hey, well, you're
Or
not allowed
prefab
to use,
cage.
yeah, prefab. You're not allowed to
cage.
use bolt-ons with 24 Hours of Lemons. So we ended up running across a guy named Tyler that owns a small business out here. He just got started. He's been in the fabrication industry for years and has a phenomenal reputation, but he decided he wanted to get out there and make his own name and stop making money for other people. God bless him for that. So Tyler has Gearhead Fabrication. We've done a video with him once already, but we had him as the guy pinned for this. So we then talked to another company out here, Jarhead Glass.
Yeah, Jarhead Auto Glass.
Awesome guy. He came on out, pulled the front window out, so that way it would make Tyler's job way easier to fabricate the extensive roll cage.
Yeah, it came to our shop.
Yeah. So he came on out, pulled the glass. This went off to Tyler, and Tyler put together just a phenomenal cage. If you haven't watched the video, then after this one's over, go back and find the one where I'm sitting with Tyler and he's discussing the components of it. But it is an overbuilt cage that made it through tech with no issues. So big kudos to him and to Jarhead.
Yeah.
God bless you both, man. You really took care of us. So it came back from that, brought it back to the shop, and then it was actually time to do the cool stuff we like doing.
Yeah, mods. So, as you can imagine, Dodge Avenger is the pinnacle of motor.
What were you saying?
Apparently nothing. Are the mics on?
Yes, they are.
Okay, cool. So
Okay, hey, look, see car? We make car fast. It go on fast track. We win. Nobody else. Us only. It. Car. Avenger. All
right, back to mods. Back to mods.
All the mods.
This being the pinnacle of motorsports perfection, needed suspension because we're going to go road racing. And after we took the weight out, it was sitting like a monster truck, literally 6 inches higher than this. So because of the $500 suggestion,
It's
Rule?
not a rule. Let's be honest.
it's not a rule.
They say it is.
Well-
We followed it to
If you sign up for 24 hours of lemons, we are not telling you not to follow that rule.
Just bring a
Yes,
car
you will.
that
It won't
bring a
work out
car
well.
that's going to shock them, and you get away with things. So, after doing some intense Google and Facebook research, we determined that Dodge Caliber suspension should bolt in.
Okay.
So it does kind of.
All right. No, it doesn't. Don't buy it thinking it's going to bolt up. Don't buy it thinking you're going to be able to make it work.
The back bolts in.
The back does. I agree. So
That's
you
what
can.
The top of the front does.
The top of the front
That's
does.
65%.
So, all right, if you're going to Carolina squat your Avenger, I got you, fam. If you're not, and you actually want the entire thing to sit, you better own a welder, have a good understanding of stresses, tensile strengths, and materials. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself.
So it required some custom perches for the lower mount to where it bolts to the spindle. But once we got that done, the car is, as you see, race ready now.
It's gravy.
It's pretty good, actually.
So some of the other mods, we have a custom cold air intake. We moved the battery from the front corner where Dodge likes to put it, but could get crashed. And in fact, we did get a love tap. So the battery's in the engine bay.
Yep.
The airbox is now down there, but safe.
With
Full exhaust.
cold air intake through here.
Cold air intake, yeah, we have ram air to the cold air intake. It has full exhaust
Active
from the
ram
manifold back. And a custom tune.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron, absolutely. I don't know how you can give somebody something like this, which gave us 107 on the dyno, right?
Oh, don't give that away. That'll be later in the video.
Oh, is it later in the video?
It's later
We're
in
not
the
right
video.
now. All right.
Yeah,
well,
we're still
hey,
we're
bringing them there.
We're
slowly
bringing
bringing you. It was 107
on the
Don't
first
tell
pull.
anybody.
It was garbage.
All right, so we have the car. We've modified it. We've made it safe. And then our big day. Are we moving to the big day?
We're pretty much up to the big day.
All right.
We got a fire suppression system
Bam.
installed into there. We got the electrical squared away. We got
Bam.
the roll cage in, the race
Bam.
seat in, the harness in,
The custom arrow.
custom arrow,
Bam.
right?
are we
And
on?
we had already
Bam.
painted it. Now let's talk about the wrap, not a wrap. Rural King, about $60 worth of oil-based paint shot through a Harbor Freight 20-year-old my primer gun from back when I used to like to paint cars, and it
Desert
laid
tan.
flat. You want to do a 1 to 5 cut on that one and use a little bit of catalyst for it to dry faster because we shot this outside in the field
On a nice day.
on a nice day in like November.
Yeah.
It was like the only 68-degree day that we
Yeah,
had.
it laid flat, it looked good, and then Robert's wife, the better of the two,
Melanie.
Melanie, God bless
The way
you.
he said that, it sounded like I had two wives. I only have one wife.
Yes,
To be clear,
and between the two of them, we like her more.
this is Tennessee, not Utah.
So we're gonna piss everybody off on this. Go
Ah,
Bulls! So Melanie took what was going to be the boringest car ever sprayed, and did what you see here with the black markings, the stenciling, and this is Sharpies. This is paint pens. All of this is just spray paint, and made it look incredibly awesome.
Yeah. It gets confused as a vinyl wrap a lot, but this is actual paint.
Yeah, the only vinyl on this car is the window banners, the numbers, and then the required safety stickers. There's a really cool one you'll hear about later where Robert had to get towed off the track, and so the tow company made him put the sticker on.
And they gave me a lollipop for
And they-
doing a good job.
We think it's because he sucks.
Could have been that. Could
Well,
could've been
it was
possibly
also a dum-dum.
have been that.
Not sure if that's... They were doing that on purpose, or it's just a weird coincidence?
So
So we're up to the big day.
you're up to the big day.
day.
Robert, take us to the big day.
All right. We lined up everything on one day. Came in, put the truck or the car on the trailer, hooked up to the truck, and we headed down to C&D Tire down here in Maryville, Tennessee. Great guys. They took care of us. We put a lot more tire on the car than the car.
Okay, why did we go with PS4s?
because they're awesome, and we have them on our Corvettes.
Because we're racing in December at Road Atlanta.
Oh, I thought we wanted to pretend it was a Corvette.
No, it's because this is a phenomenal tire when it's wet out. Not
Proven
so much
to work on a Corvette.
Corvettes, yeah, but it's proven to work on that thing. There's a reason they're on an awful lot of cars. As it's been said on a lot of forums out there, it's the cheater tire if it's wet and cold. That's the tire that's going to give you the most traction. And it was reasonable on price point.
That's exactly why we did it. I was pretending it was a Corvette.
And in,
After C&D Tire, we headed over to Eurospec. We
And you'll
hung
see
out
Dougie.
with Dougie Spec.
Dougie!
He did the alignment and the stance for us. We actually visited him twice, once in the next couple days. And we ended up, what was our camber and everything on the stance?
basically, it's -3.5 front and back, 0.17 toe in the back, 0.03 in the front, pretty mild there, ready to go.
Yeah, low and slow.
The suspension has 10K springs in the front, 8K in the back. It was a $340 suspension kit.
Max speed.
Max speeding rods.
Yeah.
Too fast.
Too fast, too furious.
Yeah, it does not bolt to your car.
We are going, that's copyrighted, man.
Oh, whoops.
So
I didn't sing
after
a song.
Dougie Spec, we headed over to RPG and hung out with Logan. As you can see, in this spot right here is where the dyno's going. Dyno's not here yet, so we couldn't do that here. Dyno's going to show up in the next 2-3 weeks. Make your appointments now. We went down and seen Logan at RPG where he allowed us on his dyno, and Aaron did his magic.
So, it is a two-wheel drive dyno jet, Red Performance Garage, also in Maryville off US 411 South. We got this on there, and as you may have heard earlier in the video, the first pull was 107, the second pull was 113.
Woo!
Just making all of the horsepower.
Oh, baby.
So 173 from the crank through an automatic transmission, 113. Okay, I guess. We started making some pulls. It's probably the second time I've ever tuned a Dodge ECU using HP tuners. I kind of know how the motor should act just because of the Mitsubishi side of the family. All told, we got 150 wheel and 159 pound-feet of torque. So it was, basically a stock car. We were ready to
What's the
go on Super
mileage on
Speedway.
the car?
167,000 miles of unknown maintenance. We know it wasn't loved. We know it wasn't taken care of. We know they were on drugs. All of those are definitive, no kidding, proven.
I know
right?
there wasn't much maintenance.
Yeah, and all of that awesome maintenance that was taken care of on this car definitely came back to haunt us on the track.
Yeah, which you're going to find that out here as we continue to tell the
That's
story.
called a hook, so you keep watching.
The brains of the operation. So we get done with that day, and we are officially now owners of a race car that is fully prepped and ready to go. From there, on the 10th of December,
Or 11th.
It was the 11th.
it was the 11th?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a
100%
Thursday.
the 11th, Thursday.
No, it was Wednesdays when we loaded
But we loaded on Wednesday.
and finished on
Okay,
Thursday.
we packed. It was boring. It
Yeah.
sucked.
That's exactly what we did. We hooked up the trailer to a truck that Brendan and Aaron drove. We hooked the car up to the trailer of Big Red. And then we remembered we had to pick up our other NASCAR driver at the airport. So I went over there and picked up Jesse Brown. And Brendan and Aaron headed to Road Atlanta. And we followed about an hour and a half behind.
Yeah,
something like that.
just about that.
And they got to Road Atlanta and set up the paddock and waited for us to show up.
So we had a chance to kind of meet some of the people around us that were bringing out cars. One of the first things that I saw when I was out there was a, no kidding, track prepped, ready to go Mercedes with had to be $7,000 to $10,000 in brake system, had a digital stack, running an ECU into it, and that was probably a first indicators that this $500 rule may not be written in stone. And now there is gray areas, right? If you sell something off your car, that has to also be performance related. Like you can't sell the glass out of the side and then say, well, this gets go to. You can't run the glass to begin with. You take your factory exhaust off and you put a stainless exhaust like we built for this one, right? that's considered safety, so that doesn't go towards it. Now, if they take out a very expensive motor and put a less expensive motor, like an LS probably costs less than whatever that Mercedes came with, then I guess they get a little bit of wiggle room there. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they somehow managed to adhere to the rules.
Well, just the automatic shifter in that car is $2,200 used. Because
We
Mercedes.
are not saying that you should not sign up for 24 hours of lemons
No, it's
and
great.
avoid the rules. We are saying you should follow the rules because you're not blaming us if you don't pass tech.
Okay, but seriously, we did. We adhered to the rules, which is one of the reasons why I think that they liked us whenever we showed up with the car. But so me and Aaron, we're down there, we're in the paddock, we're prepping everything, we're meeting some people, shaking hands, and it's a great environment. Like awesome people around us. And then we were just kind of sitting there with a trailer full of tools, waiting for the race car, waiting for the other half of the team to show up.
We stopped for steaks.
Awesome. That's why.
That's why. So we show up to the paddock. We drop the car in the trailer off. We fiddle-farted around a little bit, but that was about the end of our prep day. And the next day is tech, and we also get to go out on the track and test the car out a little bit. So we come back on Friday, fiddle-fart with the car a little bit, make sure everything's running right, looking right, and what happens, Aaron?
This is where we really started getting the lemons experience. So tech wasn't until 12:30. We go out on the track at 10 o'clock, and everything seems to be going pretty good. You got to make some hits. Your brother goes out, and then all of a sudden the battery light comes on. And so Jesse radios across our sweet comm system and says, "Hey, I have a battery light on the dash. What should I do?"
Go faster.
Go faster. It'll make it better.
Drives it into us, bad alternator. Now, you'd expect that. We have no real mileage on the car. We're not driving it on the streets here. It is not registered. It is not insured. It is race car, race car. So besides the one time me or Aaron may or may not have
Gone to Mexico.
gone to Mexico and driven it on the street to go get some decent gas into it because 4-year-old gas is really hard to tune. Besides that, we have no experience on this car. Like, we don't know anything about it. We don't know other than like the things we can physically check. We know it didn't leak any more fluids. We knew that the wheel bearings were good. We know that we replaced the suspension. We replaced ball joints, upper lower control arm bushings, all the mechanical stuff that you're gonna have an issue with on a
Sweet
track.
power stop brake system.
Oh yeah, the massive power stops,
The high performance pads.
super high performance pads.
That'll come up in a minute also.
Yeah, that's definitely going to come up. But so we had no issues or that we knew about until we're out there. And really, if Robert hadn't have paid for the track day, right, that pre-day to test and tune, we would have walked into the actual race completely oblivious to some pretty big issues that we encountered on that first day.
Yep.
So alternator was bad. He pulls it on in. It's pretty easy. We'd already removed a lot of components from the car, like the AC system. So besides modifying the bracket to give us a little more tension on a belt and to put the alternator in an easy to get to spot, which is super easy on this thing, not much other than stock. So pop the alternator off. Robert, you and
Well, we went and got a new alternator at Advanced Auto Parts. Not asking for a sponsorship or anything, but
we'll take it.
we definitely will. We came back. We decided to hold off on changing the alternator until after tech and judging. So we went up to tech, and I do believe their exact words were, "This is the best prepped car we have ever seen in our life, and will you please take over tech for us?"
They're actually
Half of
pretty
that's
happy.
true.
Yeah.
Some of
half
those
that's
those
true.
words were said.
Yeah. The very first Dodge Avenger,
First ever.
and I mean, a big group of the guys that run 24 Hours of Lemons came out, talked to us. Like, they had taken pictures of the car when we were taking it out on the track for the first time. Like, it had already gotten noticed. One, because it looks fantastic. Two, because it drives insanely good for what it is.
Yeah.
And then the fact, we brought something they don't see every day. Like, let's be honest, most guys that are going there are trying to find a chassis that has a huge aftermarket support for it and that's known for being good on a track. So you got your Miatas, you got your E36s, you've got your Civics,
Integras.
Integras.
Same
There's
thing.
Accords out there that were doing
a couple
quite well.
of Integras that
Yeah.
are pretty quick.
Oh, and I love Teggies.
There was a bunch of Volkswagens
Get a DC2.
That's
baby.
surprising. There was some newer Volkswagen Bugs that actually were running well.
and a Golf, VR6 Golf.
Oh, yeah, no. Awesome cars out there. This is not the sort of car that you would expect to see. And so they kind of made a big deal. And for tech, I know, again, a big shout out to Tyler. No issues. No issues on the cage, no issues on our fire suppression system, no issues on any of our safeties on the vehicle. We dialed it in to the letter, and it was easy. As far as tech went, that was obviously my big concern, right? I get to turn a wrench more. And that's kind of, if it fails tech, we don't get to race. We've invested that money, and that is now gone. So
It was nice not to fail.
yeah, to have somebody look at it and go, oh, you guys obviously you know what you're doing and you executed it properly. Like that was good. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, he said that if we wanted him to write something down, he could, but
No, he couldn't. It's that good.
we let that one go.
We rolled about another 40 feet forward and went into the judging area. Again, if you haven't ran a 24 Hours of Lemons, do it. The group there, great bunch of guys,
And
really
girls.
fun. They're
And girls.
looking to enjoy themselves and have a nice day of racing.
Yeah, top notch.
We rolled into the judges, and they were stunned that we brought a Dodge Hellcat Avenger and went over the car with us. And they were, oh, you definitely stuck to the rules. You are a Class C with no lap penalties.
Yep.
So you are good. I asked them if we could be a Class D so we could be in a class by ourselves. He said no. I asked him if he'd give us extra laps. He said no. So from there, we moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the track, actually.
Back to the track.
Back to the track. Did some more testing.
Yep.
We headed back to the pit, put on the new alternator, and who went out?
Jesse went out. at that
Jesse
point.
went back out?
Yeah, I think Jesse went back out because he
All right.
only got, I think he got one lap before they brought him in and then had the battery light.
All right. Jesse went back out. He ran a couple laps. He said, hey, good news. Battery light's on again. So brought it back in, shut it down, looked over the car,
So
started the car, and
the electrical connector had worked its way off. It wasn't safety clipped in, and
thank goodness.
right, which is actually really, really good that happened, because when we safety clipped it in, had him fire up the car, it looked like there was a rave or a dance party going on inside the alternator. Like sparks were flying everywhere. It's like, oh, this is gonna explode. This is bad. So we yanked it off. It had obviously been remanufactured or manufactured poorly. It was just not right. You guys went and you got us a brand new one again.
At Advance Auto was great. We walked in there, Aaron shook it, said
It's a piggy bank.
stuff was falling out of it.
Yeah, I accidentally made a mess on the counter.
And they said, oh, it's not supposed to be like that. We said, really?
Bet.
So they gave us a new one, went back, popped it in.
And it lasted all weekend.
Yes, it did.
And it's still running strong.
So we were out there running our practice laps, and car's getting really hot.
Yeah, I think it started getting hot on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much noticed it. I think, honestly, from the very beginning, that instead of stabilizing on temperature, it started playing around. Now, when we got the car, we knew it had the cooling issue, and so we did everything that we thought a reasonable person would do. We gutted, one of the thermostats, it's got two. We just gutted because it's got the O-ring gasket that we need to maintain. So it provides a little bit of a restriction. We took the other one completely out where we could. We had seen evidence that they had used a fix leak, stop leak, silver seal, that sort of garbage in there. Chipped out as much of that as we could. So here we are, we're on the track. Oh, and a new water pump. Here we are, we're on the track and we're running into these heating issues. We're running out of stuff to replace before it starts becoming something that's more major than we want it to be. But because of what we had seen and because what we were hoping for, right? You really want to kind of target the less expensive, easy stuff rather than go over to there might be something wrong in the engine, right? So the radiator, it seems like a logical point. We still had the original AC condenser in front of it. We still had obstructions, right, that were preventing good airflow.
A literal
cool day.
rat's nest.
Yeah, rat's nest was between the two of them, right? And we knew that they had used that stop seal or stop leak. So that has a tendency to, basically cause an obstruction within there, clog up the radiator. So we went and said, hey, let's replace the radiator. So off to get a radiator. get the new radiator in, purge the system, clean it, get everything done. Now we can only run water, right? You have no coolant on these races because if you do end up having a coolant leak, they don't want that on the track. So we got water in there, got everything done, button it back up. Time to go back to race and see what happens. Oh, actually, no, at that point, it was the end of the day.
Yeah, end of the day.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
the end
in
of the
the
day.
dark.
Testing was
But
over.
testing's over. New alternator, another new alternator, new radiator. Obviously, we are ready to win.
I went back into the tune.
You went back into the tune.
I made the fans come on earlier. I guess
Made the
but
fans
we
come
should have
on
been ready
early.
to race. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we walked out Friday night, absolutely positive. We're ready to go.
At this point during our Lemons career, we were undefeated.
Yes.
Because the simple fact is, we don't go racing, we go winning. So we showed up Saturday, jumped in the car, lined it up, and we were ready to race. We noticed about 10, 12 laps in, getting hot. I'd let off, it'd come down a little bit, getting hot, and we kept playing with that. Found out that we could keep the temperatures down if we ran about 70, 85%, just not full out.
So I don't know why we're saying we, because up to this point, only Robert has been in the car on race day. Robert is the one driving it, and as you can tell with those ginormous hands, he is very gentle on things.
Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
So, radio back, what was going on, and the gauge we have in here is a dumb gauge. It doesn't give us a number, and what were we thinking at that point? You explained it very well before.
Well, actually, Chambers did, but we didn't know what it was supposed to read. I knew from my experience in other cars that halfway is usually 180, 190. We've never owned a Dodge Avenger, so wow, maybe half is what it's supposed to be. These things don't turn the fans on till 220 degrees in the stock tune.
That's smart.
So I thought, maybe it's supposed to run a little bit higher. We hadn't had any steam coming out of the tailpipe. The oil was always clean. It's like, well,
There's no physical leaks.
There's
Absolutely no physical leaks on the motor at all. Coolant, water, oil, anything. It looks to be the way it's supposed to be.
yeah,
And at that point in the conversation with you on the radio, it was like, listen, because we don't know,
yeah.
we need to find out. And
Oh, I found out.
No one better to find out than
I found out.
gentle Robert.
So it was
we told him to
determined.
hammer down.
Yeah.
Let's see what it does. It ran strong for about half a lap. We were up there battling, moving on, and coming up to turn 7. Came out turn 6, and there was a commotion just past 7, which slowed everybody down. So we are entering 7 at very, very, very low speed. You're talking 5, 10 miles an hour. And the car decides right then, while I'm dead center of the track, I'm not on one side, not in the apex, I'm dead center of the track, to shut off. And
It seized.
Oh, she was done. She's like, I've had enough. You all are a bunch of punks. I ain't playing with you anymore.
She paid Robert back for abusing her
So I
by
get pulled.
parking him in the worst corner at the worst possible spot with no speed to bring it to a side. You're literally
Stop.
in the middle of 7.
If there's anybody who was racing that day, and they were like, why is this idiot in middle of the track?
115 people were racing that day.
And they're like, what is his problem? A lot. A lot is his problem.
He's got a lot.
So the race crew came up, emergency services, hooked us up, pulled us all the way back to the pits, which was a great time. I do
Just
believe
a mile and a half or so.
a mile and a half flat towing.
And you got something for that effort,
I
didn't
I got a lollipop because I did really good, or
Or
some
because-
say I got a sucker because I sucked.
you? And it was also
A dum-dum.
It was a
dum-dum.
dum-dum sucker, so it could be because I was a dum-dum. One of those 3 things happened.
all I know is the crew that came out there, right? The safety crews,
They
right?
were
The medical
awesome.
staff, the guys that run 24 Hours of Lemons, all of them absolute class acts. All of them got a sense of humor. They flat towed him,
And they're car guys.
which
is nice.
actually speaks a lot to you, right? You are on turn 7, which is the halfway point on that track, and they pulled you flat toe. They didn't put you on the truck like they have a tendency to do. They flat toed you and pulled you all the way out of there.
10 A and B.
Yeah, through 10 A, B, 11, 12, and into the paddock. So brought it all the way up to the paddocks, and like normal, Robert brings us something broken. Again.
It's usually hopes and dreams. So we pull into the pits, and we're like, all right, this should be easy because literal steam is coming out now. Tech tip, radiators work better when there's water in them.
Yes.
So we get there, we open the hood. We obviously have to wait a little bit for it to cool down. And this is the first day of racing. And
It was about 11 in the morning.
Yeah, we had finished 17 laps of an endurance race. It's not enough to get you a podium. So after that, we let it cool down.
So I think both me and Aaron are on the same page. We have run out of parts with the exception of one. Before you get to the thing you don't want to say out loud, right? And that's radiator cap. We had replaced it, but it was an off-the-shelf OEM clone,
It was
probably
like
Dorman.
$4.99.
Yeah. Rock Auto, it's a radiator cap, it's 16 PSI. Now, if the spring is weak, which this one wasn't, but it could have been, then it could be that it's not allowing enough pressure to build up to help keep the temperatures down, right? Or at least prevent it from boiling. And since there's no leaks coming out, there's no water in the oil at all, right? And it is not sharing the radiator where it could be pumping in the transmission if the transmission cooler is built into the radiator and you have a radiator failure. It's got none of that. The only thing it can really be is the radiator cap. And so what we decided to do was we're going to mechanically limit that spring's ability to compress. So that way we keep pressure on the system, and it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to solve the problem, which is what we were hoping for, or it will absolutely show us what's broken. We never actually got the opportunity to test that.
We didn't get that far.
Right.
Because the mighty anger said, I'll show you.
Yeah, it did.
It was thirsty.
It was thirsty, right? So that cooling system, gallon and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
At about 2.5 gallons, we noticed we had a problem. We would fill it, it would go to fill, and then it would slowly start coming down. Keep in mind the ground underneath it, dry.
So you can guess where the water was really going.
For those of you that maybe don't spend a lot of time with a wrench, you have two options at that point. You have a water jacket to block failure, so normally a cracked cylinder, or you have a head gasket failure between the combustion area and the water jacket. That's it. Now, we've got that engine sitting up here in the corner. We have not torn it down yet. I am intentionally waiting for my daughter to have a day. She's here visiting me from college. She wants to tear a motor down with me. This is the perfect motor to do it with her. So we're waiting to do that so that way I can get a little daddy-daughter time and work on a motor together.
And we need to buy an engine stand for it.
And I need an engine stand for it. But
So we have to pick up where we left off yesterday because of reasons. Power on phone.
technical,
Technical difficulties.
we're really good at this videoing thing.
We're the best.
pro.
So
We're
gonna start
so
our-
much better at building cars than we are at making videos.
Yeah, maybe don't hire us as a production company like Ronin Brothers Productions. Not so much. Make a car fest. We do a little bit of that.
So we left off talking about how the car took 2.5 gallons of coolant on a 1.5 gallon cooling system. So we knew that things were definitely done. I looked up prices on eBay. It looked like it was going to be $1,500. I also found a wrecking yard 10 miles away, about 20-something minutes, that said they had a Avenger, didn't tell us what motor it was. So we made the call to all load up and drive out there, see what was going on. But you did want to throw in...
Our
where-
mentality was it
the
didn't matter what
mentality.
it cost. Like we went out there to race. We spent the last 3 months preparing for this opportunity to go and have a good time. And I've talked about it before in other videos, right? It's less about the competition, it's less about racing, and it's more about the camaraderie. It's a chance to kind of like just spend time together, face a little bit of adversity. Absolutely, we got plenty of that on this trip, but participate in something that we all enjoy doing. And also the opportunity to find out who is the fastest of all of us, right? That's the nice little cherry on top.
So we'll get to that later. So, Robert, we drove out there.
Went out to the junkyard, great junkyard, nice, plenty of cars. The walk down to the Dodge Chrysler area was about a quarter mile.
Downhill. It'll be important later.
And we found the one Avenger. The good thing is we opened the hood and it had the engine in it. The bad thing is the engine was absolutely not the one we needed.
Yeah, it was leaking oil from everywhere. It looked like a 12-valve Cummins.
Yeah, but at least you knew it had oil in it.
That's a bonus.
You only get nervous whenever they stop leaking.
Good point.
But yeah, no, it wasn't the motor that we were looking for.
Then the search went to what else had the 2.4 world engine?
Gemma.
So fortunately, there are a lot of those in the wrecking yard, mostly because they had been impacted in one way or another. And we narrowed it down to two. Chrysler 200. Mm-hmm. I think it was a 2014, as I recall.
Yep, 2014 Chrysler
and then
200.
There was like a 2000 something caliber, maybe.
Something like that.
I don't know. Actually, the way my memory goes is we had the option of the 2011 that none of us really wanted to get.
Oh, that's what it
or
was.
that one. All the rest of them were 2 liters that look identical, right? But they're the 2 liter, and we didn't want to deal with that. We wanted that additional 20% displacement that the 2.4 gave us.
Needed the torque.
On already an anemic motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. He didn't mean that.
So at that point, it was quarter mile uphill back to the office to figure out how much this motor was going to cost.
You're going to hear about this quarter mile a lot, like literally.
Now, in the comments, 2.4 liter out of a 2014 Chrysler 200. How much?
Yeah, how much do you think it would be? Based on what I had already found looking it up. Yeah, unknown history, unknown mileage. And one thing is when you're in a wrecking yard, you're looking for a car that's been hit. That's why it got totaled. That's why it's there. So one thing about this Chrysler 200 is it was pretty clean. It had a little bit of front end damage.
It had a scuff on the front end.
Had better body than this.
Oh,
it had a better body than this car.
Fantastic paint. The interior, though, looked like it had a smoker. And as everybody knows, somebody that allows the interior to get burned up and stained from smoking probably isn't doing your normal maintenance. That was a consideration we had. But once again, backs against the wall. Every moment that we are spending looking for the motor, somebody else just ran their fastest lap on the track that we're supposed to be competing in.
So the good news was the motor was $303 because of a 25% off discount. So it's okay, we're splitting into teams. It's time to get to work. So we ran back to the track, dropped off Brendan and Jesse. Robert and I got a bucket of tools and went back to the pull apart. And how'd that go?
It was an awesome adventure. The great thing about pulling an engine in a junkyard is it's just cut and go, cut and go, cut and go. You don't worry about clips. You don't worry about wiring. You just cut everything, pull a few bolts, and then you get to move this gigantic 12-foot gantry, which thankfully they had, so we could actually pull the engine, wiggle that in position, and yank the engine.
Yeah. Fighting casters that don't want to go the right direction, 2 flat tires.
But we had 2 good tires, too.
But we had 2 good tires. So there's
50,
positives
50.
here. Yeah, the glass was half full. And we had a wheelbarrow to get this motor out with, out that quarter mile uphill.
Both ways.
Both ways. So
I think it was snowing.
it definitely was snowing. It's December in Georgia. So I walked up to the office, said, hey, we got the motor out. You had mentioned that you could get a forklift down to us. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I got to put a battery in the walkie-talkie. I'll get the forklift down there. Don't worry about it.
There was no forklift.
There was no forklift. Help was not coming. We were on our own. So I walked back down, and by that point, I think Robert kind of understood that they probably weren't going to show up because he'd already started moving it. And to illustrate how great this turned out, wheelbarrow was not very stable. So it was shrug and back up a quarter mile, as much as we could do at a time, and get that motor out, which we did. And we got it back to the track, and I guess at that point, you and
They
Jesse
were
had been
having
going.
cheeseburgers at that point.
Let's talk about what it was like for me and Jesse. Well, one, Jesse Brown, you are the man. Guy was fantastic with a wrench. He legitimately didn't actually have a lot of experience doing this sort of thing, but you couldn't tell if you were watching. I would just tell him, hey, I need you working this. I'm going to work this. and we went through it. So obviously needed to be a lot more delicate. We couldn't just use Robert's hands to rip things out of the way. So we just sit there, disconnected everything that needed to be done.
We actually used my side cutters to get everything out of the way.
Robert's hands, same way that they brought the motor up. He just laid his palm down, put the motor in it, and drug it all the way up, the way he drugs those big knuckles everywhere he goes. So for me and Jesse, unbolted everything. It came out very smooth, very easy. Cherry picker, set it and staged it, got ready for them to show up. We had massages for about 30 minutes. That was nice. Cheeseburger meal.
With fries, very nice fries.
All in all, again, 24 Hours of Lemon staff, very, very supportive the entire time. They popped by to see how we were doing. They wanted to see if we were actually going to be attempting this this feat. It wasn't very difficult. We just took a motor out. And then we waited on these two. So after the massages, after the chow, having the pep talks from everybody, they finally showed up, talking about this uphill, talking about this wheelbarrow. Oh, it took forever.
It was like this.
So pulled the motor, set it next to our known bad motor, and started swapping all the parts that we know we wanted to put on the new one, the ones that we needed to make sure was going to operate properly. So power steering pump, which sucked, but we did not want to go and bleed the system. We had left it hooked up and moved out of the way, put our new alternator in, valve cover, water pump, actually the entire cooling system for it we pulled off and reapplied to the new donor engine. Fresh oil, fresh filter, new plugs.
Many, many pictures inserted here.
I'm sure Robert's got a bunch that'll hopefully get set up into this thing, and then we went to the pain of having probably too many hands. Everybody wants to be helping, and there's only a couple things you can do at a time as you're putting it on in.
But it was very much appreciated. There was the four of us.
Oh yeah.
Robert's daughter Sam helped.
Sam helped. Yeah.
The people in the pits next to us, Fat Bastard Racing.
Oh, we love those guys.
They'd come over and, hey, is there anything we can do? Everybody wanted to pitch in, so that was really cool.
Yeah, and the 24 Hours of Lemons guys even brought me a beer.
And me.
So
Not me.
He doesn't drink. So we got it bolted on in, relatively easy, and then we hit a little bit of adversity.
As you'll see in the videos here.
Here we go!
Stop. Put your foot all the way on the gas and leave it on the gas when you go to start it.
Here we go!
It didn't want to start. But then it didn't want to start. But finally we got to a point where it finally didn't want to start.
I don't think it's well, either.
So
And we sat down, or we stood there and we were talking about it, and for some reason Brendan said to Jesse, try it one more time.
None of us wanted to say what was on our minds, right? We basically had went through all the effort of finding, installing, prepping, doing everything we were supposed to do, and it just wouldn't start. We knew we had fuel. We knew we had spark. We had even tried ether to try to get it a kick, and it just didn't sound like it had compression.
or it had compression on maybe 2 cylinders.
Yeah, it definitely didn't sound like it was across the board. And Aaron pulled out his bag of tricks like he normally does, right? You know, we torched the spark plugs, put some oil in the cylinders, tried to break free the piston rings, and we cussed at it. Surprisingly, it's an awful lot like a junior Marine. You know, you apply the right amount of motivation, the right amount of pressure, and Jesse got in that thing, put his foot on the small skinny pedal, turned the key, and she fired right up.
And
it was
literally the paddock, the pits there erupted.
Yeah.
because they could hear it. They knew we were running. So we got that. We bled the coolant system, and And then Robert wanted to take it for a test drive.
Yeah, we had to make sure they knew who it was. We put some flashlights.
Oh yeah, we had lights.
Flashlights over the numbers, and then Robert went out just to show everybody that we came to play.
They had a potluck dinner that night for all the racers and crews, so we drove on over there and let it be known that the second day we would be racing.
So his neutral rev, it only goes to 4,000 RPM. So we heard that. Then we heard a whole bunch of hooping and hollering and hoorays on the other side of the pit. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Like, just a supportive group. Like all the
Yeah.
racers there, they're competitors on the track, absolutely. But when you're in the paddocks and you're trying to get things done, the guys are awesome.
Yeah, everybody's friends.
Everybody was trying to help out. Everybody wanted to be a part of this, and it was deeply, deeply appreciated. Honestly, it's one of the main reasons that, you know, it's not a giveaway car now. It's one of the main reasons why we got to keep doing this, because it's a hell of a lot of fun.
And more on what the giveaway will be later.
So that day ended with on a great note, and the next morning we showed back up ready to race. Who went out first?
That would be me.
That guy.
I got the privilege because we didn't know what this was going to do. So, you know, put the tuner in it, make sure that he's watching gauges and having fun. So we took off. 8:30 was go time. We rolled out a little bit before that to warm cars up and get going, because they were only going to run an hour and a half in the morning because 10 to noon is church time. So we had mandatory shutdown. So I went out for 45 minutes. I think my best in the morning was a 2:08.5. Just had a blast. Didn't even know I was out for 45 minutes.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. Came in and Jesse took over.
Then we put Jesse in. He ran for 45 minutes.
And
Then
came
we
in
had
for
lunch.
lunch.
Well, it was right about that point I think we found that we had a problem with the brakes.
Oh yeah, because we brought it in to rotate tires. Well, we brought it in. We were going to rotate the tires for the afternoon, and yeah, noticed
Yep.
there was a brake problem.
Yep, so the Power Stop 3000 GT Super T27, whatever they call
Type
them,
R.
Type R Spec V, we had purchased, and hopefully it's on this video, that we talked about what we were originally planning with the 340 mil and why we couldn't go that route. But it was the brake option that we had at the price point we could afford. So we bought their most aggressive pad, and I was hoping that was going to get us through the entire track day. It absolutely didn't. In reality, it would have failed on us on Saturday. We would have already experienced this at that point.
So in some ways, we lucked out.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the less you race, the less brakes you use.
You're welcome.
Proven.
So, you know, Aaron walking on by as we're doing this is like, hey, I'm not comfortable with where those pads are. Let's pull them and look. Pulled them and looked, and yeah, absolutely, we were probably a few laps away from metal-on-metal contact. Robert jumped in the truck right away, launched out, picked up 2 extra sets of pads. The Duralasts, they don't last.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No. So, but we slapped the high-end Duralasts on there.
They were the premiums.
They're the premiums. Which probably last a long time in street conditions without cross-drilled and slotted rotors.
And premium also means price, probably.
Yeah, definitely a premium price on those. How much are those pads?
$78.
Oh, that's not bad. But they lasted exactly 5 hours.
Yeah.
all we
And
needed.
they went metal to metal.
Yeah. I guess I'll get to my last run later, but basically, long story short, slapped the new pads on, buttoned her up. At that point, it was my turn on the track because Jesse had just gotten done.
Oh, no, it was you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
So I
you
took
were
her on
first.
out. Within the first probably 4 laps, realized as the brakes were heating up that we had a problem. The front end was shaking like crazy under hard braking. You know, insert warped rotor here sort of thing. It was bad. And it was bad enough that I had concerns about the suspension and the stresses that was doing to the suspension. And I also was sitting there going through my head. I'm like, you know, these are the caliper bolts we took off. These are the braces we took off. Did we retorque everything? Did I retorque it right? We're running spacers on this to get the fitment we were looking for and the offset we were looking for. Did any of those back off? Now, we had checked those when they were off, but we needed to check again. So I called it in on the radio, said, hey, we're coming on in. Let's try to figure this out real quick. So brought it on in, tore it down.
Now, as he pulls in, picture a NASCAR pit crew. It looked exactly not like that.
Yeah, it was absolutely not. So we pulled back up to the paddocks, right, because that's the only place you really get to do any of this sort of stuff. Tore it down real quick. All of us are looking at it. We're checking the torques. It's fine. There's nothing that's wrong. There's no bolts that's worked its way out. There's nothing that looks out of place. You know, the rotors aren't cracked. It just looks like, well, that's the reality we're racing in at this point. And we came out there to compete, so we slapped it back together. I took it back on the track. And I'm happy to tell you, I still don't know why it did it. Aaron has got a pretty good reason he came up with it. I'm liking the way it sounds. Why don't you say what it is?
So keep in mind, if I'm wrong, please leave it in the comments, because I'm saying what I'm thinking, not that I'm right. The power stops would be compound A, B, whatever. We switched to the Duralast Premiums, compound F. I think that most likely what was happening is it was taking all the deposits and brake material that had bedded in off the rotor. The Duralast probably a little aggressive at the temperatures we were running it, redepositing. Because the more you drove it, the hotter they got. It
smoothed out.
Yeah, smoothed out.
It smoothed out great. In fact, by the time I was done, the brakes felt very consistent. Not as much bite, but no fade. And it allowed me to push the car pretty good.
And with our premium communication system, it sounded like I was talking to Chewbacca on the radio. So I heard something about brakes, but he didn't come in. So it's like, oh, okay, we must be good.
Yeah. So otherwise, ran the rest of mine with no surprises. Car performed very, very well. Kind of reinforced again that by luck or fortune or favor, for whatever reason,
The universe gave us the car we needed.
yeah, it was a fantastic chassis. So it was time for you to drive.
The power of the Dodge anger is unknown. So I headed on out there. This would be my first full run. And what did we do, hours or 50 minutes?
50 minutes, plus or minus.
Ran the 50 minutes, and the car felt faster than it did the previous day. We found probably the better of the 2.4 engines out there. And she just ran strong, ran well.
That's where you set our record.
Oh, yeah, I ran a 158.1 at Road Atlanta, so that's pretty good, I think.
It is a official Dodge Avenger record on that track,
World record.
I'm absolutely, yeah, it's probably a world record.
especially on a Sunday in December.
I don't know if a Dodge Avenger has ever been on that track before, other than maybe like a pace car in 2014.
I don't know that it would have been fast enough.
Those are
It probably
de-
wasn't fast enough.
Those are details that don't
Yeah.
matter.
They don't.
It's a-
We
We
ran
still
it.
would have been faster than a pace car.
It exists as of now. We are the track record holder for 2013 Dodge Avengers.
Yeah, most laps,
Most laps,
fastest laps.
fastest laps. Yeah,
It
that's
will be on the car somewhere for the next race.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Atlanta
World
world
record
record.
holders. Yeah, 100%. So, and with that 158.1, Robert set our fastest lap out there. So he is technically, and only in the most legal technical version
By
of
3
this,
seconds.
the fastest of us
Almost 4.
that
Almost
raced
4.
that day. Just barely. But yes, I guess if we're talking legalese, yes, you
It is.
were the fastest.
It is a technicality, being that it's a fact. But just only because it's a fact and it's technicality, yes, I am faster.
Yeah, so he did win that one. So you got done, obviously, with a properly prepared car. Brakes are actually set up properly. Engine's running, tuned great. You're welcome. You know, none of which he could have done without us.
Did not
Which-
say I was
which
the
he
best
brings that up all the
mechanic.
time. He's
I
like,
did not say I was
This
the
is
best
why
tuner.
it takes a team.
team. Yeah.
I have the best mechanic. I have the best tuner. I have to be something.
So
Might as well
he
be the
decided to
best
be
driver.
the best driver. Exactly. Also, probably the most humble out of all of us.
Oh yeah, 100%. Super humble man.
It's actually one of the great things about me.
It's top 5 at least,
Top,
right?
Yeah, top 10.
Okay.
I'm the most adorable, so I got that going for me.
I'm gonna leave that alone. You just softball these up, man. It's like, I'm adorable. Yeah, that's because you fit in a cupboard.
True. So then it was my turn to go back out, but before Robert could get to the pit lane, I think we have a video link. There was a big accident.
Yeah. Bad rollover. Driver is fine.
away.
Walked away from it. You know, med tet and everything else. We're very, very happy to hear that.
Why
he was
there's
good.
safety equipment and
Yep.
awesome safety crews.
Yeah, yeah, and the safety crews, the medical teams out there did a great job. But it black flagged the entire course for a pretty significant amount of time.
Yeah.
So,
So then I got back in the car. So we had all the cars were stopped on track. While that was getting taken care of, I get in the car, don't properly adjust the seat because I needed to be all the way up. I didn't quite,
he's so adorable.
because I'm adorable. I'm fun size. Didn't quite get the seat all the way forward. That was kind of a negative. But I get to go back out, and in between full course yellows that seemed like they just happened and happened and happened, I did manage a 2:03, so that was my best for the weekend.
It's fantastic lap time, man.
I was pretty happy about that. Came back in, and I think Jesse would have gone back out.
Yep, handed off to Jesse. Jesse went out consistent. So Jesse's not a race car driver. This is his first time, and he was out there because of you. That's your brother.
Yep, it was his birthday present.
So Jesse came on out. His car experience, and he's into cars, but not probably to the same level. But his really racing experience, car experience.
He's a cruiser. He's not a power guy.
So he doesn't actually drive a high performance car, and he went out and did really good in a very filled field. Right, we were out there on Sunday, 85 cars still competing at that point. Which is busy on a 2.54 mile track.
Yeah.
And he went out and did fantastic.
Yeah, he was running 209s and 210s.
Yeah, damaged a car only once. I mean, twice if you count the alternator, but like physical on the outside of the car.
Well, and that was courtesy of a Fiero.
Takes
Fieros are that way, though.
Yeah, they're magnets. It's that Chevy versus Dodge animosity.
That's what it is. That's that animosity right there. All
Yeah.
right. So, but Jesse did freaking awesome.
Yeah, he did.
Then Brendan went out for his final time around and took the checkered flag.
Yeah, I got the opportunity, and I definitely appreciate all you guys for that. I got to take it out the final time and run it through. Car did really good, and then the brakes started acting up because we had exceeded the. We ran out of pad. We were metal on metal, so at a portion on the track, it was, do you push, and do you push with a lot of drivers that are being really aggressive at the very end? And put yourself into a bad situation where you could hurt yourself, the car, somebody else, or you ease back a little bit. And I had been racing against a red Beetle. I never actually found out who the driver was, what team it was.
It was the Army guys.
Oh,
that
it was.
Had been next to us that ended up moving.
That's right. They said that they brought two Beetles. Well, anyway, so we're going, and it was fun. It was just like I would pass him. He would make some great moves, and he would pass me, and we were going back and forth on the track that entire time I was out. Well, I just happened to be in front of him whenever the brakes really let me know that they weren't going to play anymore. And I remember thinking about it for a minute. It was like, do we really want to keep the car? Can I push
called
this?
it in.
Yeah, I did ask. Good thing the
again,
comms are so bad.
Yeah, bad comms. We
So-
didn't know that that's what he asked.
It
Because
gave me
you
an-
know what my answer is. It's your car, run it.
Yeah, we'll build another one. Yeah. So anyway, I just kind of calmed down, enjoyed the ride, waved him ahead, and then tucked in right behind him and just played the last couple laps that we had until the checkered flag. And that was a hell of a lot of fun. Like, great experience all the way through.
Yeah.
Now, as we've said numerous times, the 24 Hours of Lemons crew is a just great crew to work with. They put on a damn good event. Fun. They take safety very serious, but they're there to have some fun too.
Yeah.
The competitors, outstanding group of people, all of them. I didn't meet a single person that I wanted to punch in the face. Maybe one, but no.
Liar.
So I had a great time. Definitely we'll be doing it again. You'll see more of this after what are we doing with this? Hellcat?
Yeah, it's going to get a Hellcat hood.
Supercharged?
So after seeing the cars that are out there, and after seeing the adherence to the $500 rule,
The $500
Which is
suggestion.
strict.
Yeah,
very strict. We have found that there is some gray areas to play in, and thusly we will play in said gray areas as we move forward. Now we're still going back and forth on power plant. All of us are absolutely slap table already. We need a 5-speed, 6-speed. We need a manual transmission in this. It's going to actually take a lot of the load off the brakes. It's going to allow us to use the engine right to decel a little bit.
We need bigger brakes.
We absolutely need bigger brakes, better brakes. We need more tire.
Yeah. We're going to do 275s.
And we do have a slight disadvantage with the amount of horsepower we brought to the fight. So that needs to be rectified. Now, the way we do that, there's a couple different options that we're playing with. Not going to put it on this video. Don't want to put it on this video.
I'd like to hear what everybody else thinks we're going to do.
And keep in mind, right, we do have a little bit of fabrication skills. We do have a little bit of tuning skills. And we have a whole lot of, we will figure it out and make it work. So if you're coming at us and saying, LS it, we could probably figure that out.
Yeah, but that's too easy.
Yeah, that would, it'd be fun to fabricate an entire trans tunnel onto this thing.
3-liter EcoBoost.
Ooh.
And
Really?
just rear wheel drive.
Ooh. To see an Avenger drifting a corner, that might break the internet. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. I'm still stuck on all-wheel drive. It shares that commonality in platforms with Mitsubishi, the Evo 10 to be specific.
Yeah.
It's a Dodge. Dodge made an all-wheel drive Challenger. Or Charger, I should
Well,
say.
they made this an all-wheel drive for 2 years.
Yeah, and if we're going to say what Dodge did, okay, they gave up on V8s, they brought V8s back. They made it full electric with speakers in the...
We are trying to
Hey,
get
Dodge.
Dodge sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, or?
Don't,
Okay.
don't.
Dodge.
It's awesome.
Here's your chance, man. Like, here you are, sitting up in your big corporate office, looking
Look
at the
at
little
me.
guy, trying to race your car, right? You could help. Like, I'm not asking for much. Okay.
Dodge cop car.
Yeah, the
all-wheel
all-wheel drive
drive.
one. Yeah, that's naturally aspirated, though.
For $500, because, that's important.
We do need to keep it. So we would need you to purchase our engine from us, which we will give away for a low, low price. Motor, ECU, transmission, drive axles, 10,
$35,000.
35,000
We will sell you the broke one for 25.
on top. So we're looking
Two
at
inches
about
for
60.
60.
60? Okay, we'll give you 60. Have your people call our people.
And we need a receipt.
We don't have
We don't
people.
have people.
We don't have people.
We are the people.
Dodge
We
will
are
never
the
see
world.
this, and even if they do, they're going to be like, no.
No.
All it takes is the one guy that thinks it's funny that can write the check. You never know.
Well, maybe.
So, we talked a little bit about the giveaway, how it's not going to be a giveaway car. Robert, what are we going to do instead?
We'll let them know in the future.
Okay.
Oh, you're keeping it secret?
Suspense.
Oh, really?
I like it.
Okay.
There you go.
So when we get the store up, which is surprisingly a lot harder than you'd expect running two businesses and having the ample amount of time and still producing videos.
And racing cars.
And racing cars. When we have the store up, they're going to be able to buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, and be automatically entered into an unknown thing.
Oh,
right
we'll
now.
let them know then.
We'll let them know before it's up and
Yeah.
running. All right, I'm excited. I kind of want to know too.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Are any of the t-shirts going to be signed?
Yes.
Are we offering signed
Oh, it's an
t-shirts?
option, yeah.
Oh, okay. How about photos? Like glossies?
No. People will have to pay. You'd have to pay people to take pictures with you.
With you, yes, but he's adorable.
He
I
is
am adorable. It's been established.
It has been. Like
Dobby
and
is a free
subscribe.
elf.
Like and subscribe, ring the bell, share. You know somebody that's going to find this funny and willing to listen to it for an hour or something. So,
Or somebody who finds it irritating. Send it to them.
yes.
Very well.